Alright, Guardians, in this video I'm going to show you guys how to solo the Prophecy Dungeon. It does have some new weapons dropping, or old technically, but still new if you didn't do Trials of the Nine way back in Vanilla Destiny 2. So, first off, we're going to talk about Loadout. And there's not a whole lot of things I do differently. I'm not usually one to worry about like mobility or anything about that. But especially for the last boss, the Echo Kel, since we're doing it a very specific way, you are definitely going to want to do it. Uh, as you can see, I'm trying to max out mobility as much as possible. But pretty much for the whole run, we're running my code Duello with chain reaction and a dragonfly spec, and then just for the final boss, we actually run the linear fusion rifle Reed's Regret. Mine has Vorpal weapon. I would say try and get a linear fusion rifle or with either Vorpal weapon or box breathing or something, but Vorpal weapon is really awesome because it does bonus damage to bosses. And then on top of that, with the boss spec, I was doing some shots. We're doing like 60,000, but that's also with particle deconstruction, which you can get right here. So we kind of spec for that for the final boss. But otherwise, I think I was using a bottom dollar with Dragonfly. I just started using this after I got it, but it really doesn't make a difference. I kind of like this one just because it reloads way faster, and again, it's got Dragonfly. But I would say some kind of hand cannon or something in the energy slot, and we're using Wither Horde, which is pretty much key to every boss fight in this run, in this way that we're running it, just because you can literally just shoot an enemy, and as long as you get a direct hit, it will do a buttload of damage to them. Like, it literally one shots the knights in the final boss area, as well as the demon slayer area. I forget what it's called, the Hexahedron or whatever like that. But anyways, and then subclass, we're doing bottom tree, and we're doing a throw a smoke bomb from distance. That's really what we're using it for. And then Mobius Quiver comes in very handy in the final boss as well. Like, each shot does like 45,000 damage, so you definitely want that, at least for that final boss. Graviton Forfeit is awesome because not only does it make you invisible longer, it now does this thing where the more enemies you're around, your melee ability recharges a lot faster, and I mean sometimes it's like instant. So you definitely want to throw that on, and that's why another reason why we're running bottom tree, because we're throwing a smoke bomb to go invisible. And then you want to do something like this. That's for the final boss. I was running rocket launcher ammo until the final boss, so just keep that in mind. And then grenade launcher ammo, you definitely want that as much as that as possible. And then if you don't know what charges of light, or was it stacks of light, charged with light is, you definitely want to, because charged up is pretty awesome. Lets you get more stacks of light. So in which case, I think you get up to 2, and then with that one, it gives you the ability to get 3, which is just a little nice. And then taking charge is what really comes in key. 2 is you pick up orbs of power, and as long as you have masterwork weapons, you can do that. It'll work really well for you. Definitely recommend doing that. And then the thing that makes Charge with Light so good is actually high energy fire. Gain bonus weapon damage. It does consume 1 stack for every single enemy, but as you'll see, like, as long as you a little bit, at least have 1 going to do damage to any of the bosses, you can do a butt ton of damage. And then also, I put this on the final boss fight, it just because there is a bunch of snipers in the actual room where you do damage to the boss, so that will help you out. Otherwise, linear fusion rifle up to that point, or rocket launcher, depending on what you want to use. That's going to help you out a bunch. And then I just have stacks on stacks, which gives you the ability to gain an extra stack of light every time you get a stack of charged light. So instead of picking up one orb of light and you're only getting one stack, you'll actually get two charges of light. So that's awesome. Just gives you a little bit more damage to do. And then, like I said, I don't think I ever changed this the entire run. Reduces your class ability cooldown when using your class ability. If you have this, especially for the final boss, I didn't even realize I had that on. I probably put that on a couple days ago, but smart me doing that. This will actually help out a lot, and you'll see why when we get to the final boss fight. And then particle deconstruction is something you get from this season's artifact, Season of the Lost. I guess I'll do another video when this isn't available. But pretty much just dealing damage to a combatant with a fusion rifle or linear fusion rifle grants bonus damage with a fusion rifle or linear fusion rifle for a short duration, and it can stack up to 5 times. And like I said, I was doing at one point I did 60,000 damage and 40,000 damage for not precision shots, because the final boss is a bit difficult with that. But I think that's everything. So let's go ahead and go into this guide. Alright, so the intro section is actually really easy. And it's pretty much just introducing you to the main, and pretty much the only mechanic in the entire dungeon. And that is there are 2 little platforms with beams of energy coming out of them. One has light, one has dark. The way to unlock it is you're going to need 5 of these little motes you see here. These ones are dark motes. And you're going to need to split 5, and each knight drops 3. So of course you're going to need 2 knights killed to unlock a thing. And the way you differentiate between light and dark is you either are standing in light or standing in darkness. And as you can see, kind of around the bottom of the screen, there's these little flames or energy signals. And if it's dark, you're in the shadows. You're going to get dark mode. So if you're in a beam of light, like you see here, you'll get the light modes. So pretty much just do that. This you'll have to do it twice. I guess it's just really amping you up to get the mechanics down, and then we'll move on to the first boss fight. Alright, so in this boss fight, it's got the exact same mechanics as you can see, but instead of 2 platforms, you have 4. It's not always too light, too dark, or it might be, but I think it's random. So always just kind of double check what you need before you go ahead and kill knights. But this room is going to be very simple. Kill the knights, kill the little guys, I forget what they're called, as you can. As you can see, I like to start off in this little area. It's pretty safe in cover, and you can always just get that first night done pretty quickly. Clear some ads. And then just go from there. And then once you have your 5 motes, I like to make sure I've got plenty of time to be invisible and to get to a platform to explode the thing and be invisible, especially in later encounters. But in this counter, you should be fine. There's plenty of cover, plenty of places to hide. So just keep going, and then once you get all 4 platforms, you'll be able to do boss damage. And once you get the 4th platform, all the knights that are spawned in will despawn, but the little guys won't. So be very aware of that. And then after about a minute of damage phase, you'll get a wave of taken goblins. And so those are pretty annoying. Just have a rocket ready. Like if you have something with chain reaction and auto loading holster in your heavy slot, like my code Duello, that makes it so much easier because you can literally just bust out some boss damage. But once you get all 4 platforms done, go ahead and start with your super, throw a grenade, shoot a Wither Horde shot, and then just go from there. Switch back and forth between your rocket and Wither Horde as they load, especially if you have auto loading holster. And then just do as much damage as possible. Kill the goblins as they spawn in, because otherwise they're going to shield the boss and it sucks. But then it's just going to, once the damage phase is done, you're just going to restart the whole thing over again, and then it's just back from there. So I'm just going to let this play out so you guys can kind of see what it is. I'm going to speed it up a little bit in certain spots, and then we'll get to the next little phase. So this section is actually really easy. Doesn't really matter what your loadout is. You can ignore those giant taken minotaurs. They will do some damage to you, but you're running around so often you're not really gonna have to worry about them too much. But all you have to do is look for an area with some taken blights, which is what you see me doing around here. There's gonna be 3 blights, as you can see, 1, 2, 3. Take out the hobgoblins first, because those will do. You have to worry about those more than anything else in this section, just because of how much damage they do. But then just clear out all the ads. There's one that has the goblins in it. There's one that has the phalanxes in it, and I think there's one that's just the thralls. So just go ahead and take out the hobgoblins in each section, kill all the enemies, and then just clear out each of the 3 blights, and then go to that little Toland ghost floating thing, and then that will kind of like fly into the general direction of the next area. If you're interested, there's also a hidden chest in this area. All you got to do is look for one of these places that's got some yellow sand around it, and it's right in there. I'll show you how to get into that little area when we get there. And then, yeah, otherwise I'm just going to fast forward the rest of it. And then once you clear the 3rd one, I'm not sure if it gives you a waypoint, but just head towards the big wall, and the wall actually opens up a little bit, and you go into the next section. Alright, so I actually ride right past it, but as you can see, there's a little hole in between the two walls there. Just go in there, follow the path, and there's going to be the hidden chest there. I think you can only get rewards that you've already gotten out of it. So if you're looking for a better roll on something, good luck with that. But yeah, otherwise just keep doing those blights and go to the next section. Alright, so this is what I call the Demon Slayer room, just because it is based on an episode from that anime. But the things are pretty simple. All you have to do is clear out these two waves of ads, and then look for the Tolan Ghost on the walls, which you just saw me doing. And underneath the Tolan Ghost, there will be a pillar of light, or a pillar of dark, pillar of energy. And that's going to tell you which energy slot or which type of pillar you need. So for example, in this room he's above a dark pillar, so that means you need to bank dark motes, and typically I just stick to banking those motes on whichever thing he's under, because I do believe I've tried it once where he was under a dark mote and then tried to do it, bank them in a different dark mote, and it didn't count. So that kind of sucks, because if you don't do it in that way, essentially you could do this over and over and over infinitely. So you want to make sure you're banking those motes under the Toland Ghost Rider thing. But otherwise, you can clear out these ads if you want to. They're just going to keep spawning in. So just step on the platform and just go again onto the next room, and it should say something like, "This realm responds to your actions." That's how you know you did it right. Every once in a while you'll look for the Tolan Ghost, and it's actually above the little box in the middle of the room. If that's the case, just do it any other of them. I think it does it at least once every run you do. So as you can see, this one's a light pillar, so go for the light pillar. But other than that, once you get to the how to get the knights to spawn in, you have to kill the phalanxes, or not phalanxes, but the hobgoblins. Not too hard. Once you kill one knight, the hobgoblin will spawn in, and once the hobgoblin is killed, the knights will spawn in. That's just how that mechanic works. But yeah, go ahead and do that. I think it takes 6 times total. And then on the 6th one, you'll get to the boss fight, which is essentially just two major phalanxes, or the shield guys. I think that's what they're called. I think those are the Anyways, kill 2 of those guys. They don't have hardly any health at all. Like literally, one round of my super kills one of the bosses, and if you get them close together, you can take them out at the same time. It's pretty awesome. But otherwise, go ahead and do that, and we'll go ahead on to the next section. Alright, so apparently I don't have footage of the next section, but it's a really easy section. You just follow the pretty much the little ribbons all the way down, or you can use the platforms, just jump down. There's really nothing special to it at all. It's essentially just don't fall off, and you just make it all the way down, clear whatever adds out you can, and then just go from there. I really hate I don't have that footage, but I've been trying to get this video out all week, so hopefully you guys don't mind too much. I'll probably solo this again this week, so if you want me to, I'll put a link in the description, or I'll pin a comment with a clip of how to do that bit solo. But yeah, let me know in the comment section down below about that. But either way, this is the final boss section. Once you get here, you're pretty much good to go. This is really just take your time and don't die. As stupid as that sounds, it really is the truth here. And it's essentially the exact same thing as the previous rooms. There will be 3 Kel Echo, like, I don't know, doubles in this area. All you got to do, and they will have a pillar of power. I don't know what you want to call those things, but they'll have one of those pillars in front of each one, and it's either going to be dark or light, and that's how you know what you have to, which motes of power you need to unlock. And then once you unlock each pillar, a major, or I guess like a mini boss ogre will spawn after each one. So just make sure you have a smoke ready to go invis. And then just, I like to kill that. You don't have to, but it makes it a whole lot easier in killing further knights. So just keep that in mind. And then once you do that 3 times, you're going to unlock the boss area. And what I like to do is actually kill some of the scions that are still in the room. All the knights will despawn at that point. Kill the ogre, and then I like to use my Wither Horde to kill some of these scions and get some motes of light to get charged with light. That way we do bonus damage to the boss. And we'll just go ahead and skip ahead to the actual boss encounter area. I'll let this play out, and then we'll get to that. And that way it'll just be easier to explain the boss mechanics while you're looking at it. So I'll see you there in a second. Alright, so once you drop down, you're going to see the boss. You get these dark entropy charges. The boss has a little, like a circle, an area of effect, if you want to call it. If you're outside of that circle, you're going to get hit slowly with dark entropy charges. Once that hits 10, you are dead. So you want to do as much damage as possible on this first pillar, or this first platform, and then again on the final platform on the opposite end. So what I like to do, I don't even bother with these hobgoblins. I just go invisible, and I wait for my vanishing smoke charges to get down to like 0 seconds. Hit the boss with a Wither Horde shot, and then I'll go back invisible, just like so. And be very careful that that little energy blast he shoots out will actually send you all the way to the very beginning. And that gets very frustrating very quickly because that will send you all the way back. And if you're in mid-jump, it's going to have you jump off the edge, which is why this video wasn't out on like Thursday, because I've died probably 1,000 times to that, just that. So just be very careful where you're jumping and when you're jumping. If you're doing it like how I'm doing it, he'll just shoot the blasts ahead of him. So if you're, just stay away from the boss at that point. Otherwise, just kill those 2 hobgoblins at the end, and then just do as much damage as possible. When you see him going back, like right here, make sure you have a Wither Horde shot on him, because he will, as you can see, he's still taking damage. So just that little bit of extra damage is going to help you out. And then you're essentially just going to repeat that whole process over again. So yeah, just keep doing that until he's dead. As you can see, I did about 1/3. So if you have any questions or anything like that, leave them in the comment section down below. Other subscribers, commenters will probably get to you, or I will do my best to keep track of comments on this video, and I'll answer as many questions as possible. But otherwise, like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. And yeah, hopefully you liked the video, and I'll see you in the next one.
Hero. It hit me when you were tearing that last pack of Taken apart. What the Nine are trying to say. Light, dark, it don't matter.
Light and dark are not the same.
Didn't say the same, just the difference don't matter.